Folks, before you even start today's video, pause it and go over to shopwcbs.com and get yourself a world-class Bullshitters t-shirt. We just launched, we have some awesome designs, and we're going to be adding more monthly. We're going to treat the store as a reflection of the channel. We have a great joke on a show, we're going to put it on a shirt. We're also going to make it very interactive. If you buy our beer glass and drink with us, you'll get a shout out. It'll be like drinking with us virtually. So folks, go over to shopwcbs.com, support independent entertainment because the real world entertainment sucks. And now it's time for the video. Last week, he called The Eternals the worst Marvel movie ever. Now he's calling for an end to the MCU altogether.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
The Eternals is a lightning rod for controversy. Every day, more and more articles about the impending disappointment are being released. As critic scores drop to record lows, a new question begins to rise from the ashes. Is it time to end the MCU? Everyone is waiting for Marvel to fail. They have been since the beginning. But until now, there has never been this level of animosity towards the films and the Marvel brand as a whole. The New York Post published a very popular review of The Eternals, written by Johnny Oleksinski. The review labeled The Eternals as Marvel's worst, calling it a boring snooze. The review caught everyone off guard before because of how vicious it was. There are Marvel critics out there, but they're usually kinder to these films. Even the bad ones tend to be fresh. Not this time. The Eternals is Marvel's first rotten film. When I made a video about it yesterday, it was sitting at 57%. Then it dropped to 56% before I could even finish that video. As of the start of this recording, it stood at a 51%, and right now it's gone even lower. Keep watching to find out just how low the score has gone. I do know this number is an indicator of Marvel fatigue. Our new favorite writer of the New York Post is back with an all-new, all-different take. Let's nuke the whole thing. Please kill the Marvel Cinematic Universe before it's too late. In the 2002 film Spider-Man, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben told his nephew, with great power comes great responsibility. What he did not dramatically say was, with great power comes more than 30 films. But that, unfortunately, is Manic Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige's misguided interpretation of comic book wisdom. Eternals, out Friday, is somehow the 26th movie in the so-called Marvel Cinematic Universe, a Texas-sized web of interconnected superhero features that's been devouring cinema since 2008's Iron Man. There are 7 more on-screen clones publicly announced through 2023's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and many others out there said to be in development, which sounds like less of a plan than a threat. If Marvel continues their Usain Bolt pace, releasing 3 movies a year, by 2029 we'll have 50 of these things. Stop the madness. Yet why would these addicts pull up shop now? Feige and friends are printing money. Endgame ranked in nearly $2.8 billion worldwide for the evil little mouse. Disney and Craze fans are still slobbering over the capes and spandex, if not with the same intensity they did with Black Panther and Avengers Endgames, briefly the highest-grossing film of all time, before Avatar, buoyed by a re-release, blew past it. Those 2 films, however, also marked the franchise's peak of quality. Black Panther, lest we forget, was nominated for Best Picture in 2019. Ugh. If I were Feige, well, I'd buy a Greek island, but I also wouldn't send my award show tux out to the dry cleaners next year. Besides being the flick to surpass the James Bond series' scant 25 chapters, Eternals holds a less illustrious record. It's the worst reviewed Marvel entry so far. Nomadland Oscar winner Chloe Zhao's movie holds a mere 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's gone down, folks. Keep watching. In my review for the Post, I gave it 1 star, a sleepy dud that jumps between so-so and so embarrassing. It introduces some 10 bland characters I don't even care about, but like our distant cousins in Wyoming, we have to see them again and again because they're damn family. Yes, I know the recent Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was very good and Black Widow was fine. However, deep down you know this, Marvel fans. The MCU's best days are behind it. Before the pandemic, we were being force-fed flavorless Soylent Green like Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and there will be more uninspired crapola. So much more. Getting out when the getting is good and ensuing a legacy goes against our modern more attitude. Instead, we wring out every last penny from something until it dies a pathetic death. Over at Disney, they've turned Star Wars into the never-ending story and are forcing Harrison Ford to play Indiana Jones again at 79 years old. They already looked exhausted when they made Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 13 years ago, but it's Disney who's holding the whip now. It wasn't always that way. Seinfeld went off the air in 1998 as one of TV's most popular shows. In 2002, tennis player Pete Sampras retired shortly after he won the US Open. Harper Lee wrote just one great novel with To Kill a Mockingbird. Here's Uncle Johnny's advice. There's real dignity in walking away on top. Or flying, such as the case may be here. So I think this guy liked the taste of success with his review, or else he wouldn't have put this one out so fast. But I do think he makes one interesting point. The MCU's best days are behind it. We used to celebrate these things. Now we dread them. 2021 will be Marvel's worst year on record. Pandemic aside, they have not delivered. Black Widow was pointless. It was afraid to show Black Widow's past, and it served no purpose outside of causing ScarJo to sue Disney. I forgot I saw Shang-Chi. That's how much I was into it, and now we're at the Eternals, and I'm not rushing out there to see it in theaters. I'm fascinated by the media's response to this film. That's where I'm getting most of my entertainment from. How about you? If this is the beginning of the end for the MCU, I'll be content. Unless Marvel shapes up, they're going to put themselves out of business by chasing these firsts. The first rotten film is a reminder that chasing favor from those who never favored you in the first place is foolish. Trying to make Marvel a diversity-first studio is going to produce uninspired crap sold under the banner of progressive first, and once people wake up to that, your brand is dead. That's sad because Marvel has so much potential, but they choose to make these types of films that won't get a pass by their virtue alone. Every time I see an article like this, I'm questioning what actually happened. Where was the shift? I used to be pro-MCU. Day one tickets, big groups of friends, etc. Now I'm content waiting eternally to see this film. What I realized in the span of writing that sentence is I'm over the story since Endgame dropped. This weird string of R-tier superheroes isn't what I've been hoping to see materialized on the big screen. Every other part of the MCU seemed worthwhile since we were building towards Thanos since the first Avengers film. With Thanos dead twice and most of the good heroes gone, it's hard to get excited about the Avengers reserves. I don't think people remember just how Marvel stayed in business for all those years. Spider-Man just didn't have one title, sometimes he had 4. X-Men had more than that. It's all about popular characters. It was never the Marvel brand and the banner that sold comics, it was the characters. There's a reason why Marvel has thousands of characters that you've never heard of. Everybody can create one, but they're not all that popular. Disney forgot that once they bought everything. They think they can artificially manipulate a hit. We'll see. This article ends with an interesting point. Getting out when the getting is good, and ensuring a legacy that goes against the modern more attitude. It's not just a Disney problem, but Disney is the problem when it comes to milking a franchise dry. Hell, The Eternals is so dried up most of the film is brown and dusty. Right now the talk is about the international box office, but we'll see how this all plays out for Marvel. No matter the box office, the Marvel brand is damaged because now people don't believe in it anymore. It's one thing not to like it, like Scorsese, but the sentiment around The Eternals is to go away. It has X-Pac heat. Now, as I promised at the beginning of this video, we would check in with the Rotten Tomatoes score. Last time when we made a video, it was at 57%, it dropped to 56%. And now The Eternals has dropped again to 49%. That's 8% in roughly a day. Now that the fan scores are here to save the day, I wonder how the narrative will change. That is going to be interesting. So folks, what do you think about all this? What do you think of the New York Post article? I do think the guy got a taste of success, and so he dropped this one early, but I do think he's got the right idea. Maybe it is time to put this MCU to bed for a little bit. I'm a big Marvel fan, big comic book fan, dedicated my life to drawing and creating comics. That's how much I love them, but god damn it, not every movie they make is good. And your loyalty and devotion as a fan isn't predicated on if you see every movie with a smile on your face. Sometimes they make stinkers. My favorite comic book is Spider-Man. There are a ton of stinker issues. God, countless issues. The fucking Gibbon? Come on, man. Sometimes they just make stinker movies and you gotta get past them, overlook them, and skip them. You guys make the call on whether you're gonna see this film or not. I can't make that call for you. But let me know what you're gonna do. Are you gonna stay home this weekend? I'll be at home tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna sleep in, have some coffee, maybe make some bacon. But I won't be watching The Eternals. I'll be having a good time. I think I'll fire up an old DVD and watch the 1967 Spider-Man cartoon. Why? Because it's better than The Eternals. So folks, thank you for watching. This has been an awesome week, and we'll be back next week with more. So in the meantime, check out all the videos that dropped this week, and after you do that, well, there's only one thing left to do. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.